Have you heard of this concept of quantum jump, quantum leap, quantum growth? Now, a few people can experience this in their business if they're able to apply a few principles. And in this video, I'm actually going to share with you 9 concepts that can help you achieve a quantum jump in your digital coaching business in the next 12 months if you implement and apply these 9 concepts. I've learned these 9 concepts from my mentors who do over $1 million a month in a knowledge business, and I've extracted ideas from there and I've adapted it for what has actually helped me. So these 9 models, I actually learned it more than 12 months ago, and by applying these models, I have personally grown my community base to over 8,500 students in my community, over 13 crores in total revenue sales. That is, I've done more than $1 million and much more, over $1.5 million in sales, selling my knowledge in form of courses, coaching, and collaborations. And more importantly, these models can be applicable for any niche. Okay, whether you're into business niche or whether you're into health and wellness, you're into make money niche, it does not matter. But these are 9 concepts that can really help you. Okay, so grab your notepads, pens, and papers, go deep into this, and let's get into it.
Give it up for Siddharth Rajsekar!
Hey there, Siddharth Rajsekar here. Welcome to yet another video. And I love to do research. I love to analyze patterns from people who are getting phenomenal results in this knowledge business. Okay, we have a lot of coaches, we have trainers, we have speakers, and there are different types of people who are getting great results in this particular industry. There is one breed of knowledge givers who are more loud in terms of they're much more active on social media than others. Then you have another category who are much more quieter on social media, but are able to create a much more deeper impact with their audience. So the way that I categorize this is you have fame-focused influencers, and then you have freedom-focused influencers. And the freedom-focused influencers are the ones that I like to model more, even though I do have a bit of concepts that I've been taken from the fame-focused. I like to also adapt both of these together, but I'm mostly on the freedom-focused side. So in this video, I'm going to actually share with you 9 concepts. Please take a lot of notes. And these 9 concepts can make a huge difference in your digital coaching business, in your knowledge business, if you apply them like the way that I've actually given. So let's get into each of the concepts one by one. I'm going to zoom out of this. And towards the end, I'm going to give you your next logical step. Like what will be your next step for you to really take it forward. Okay. So before we get started, I want you to just type in the comment box, ready to learn. Have your notepads, pens, and papers ready, and start taking notes. The first concept, if you want to make a quantum jump in your business, is you need to have clearly defined goals. It seems like a very simple concept, but I'll go deeper into this. Goals does not necessarily mean only income goals. A lot of people like to just set goals based on how much money they want to make. Okay, but the way that I look at this is there are 5 dimensions or the 5 important areas where you have to set goals for yourself if you want a quantum jump. Okay, if you want incremental increase, 20%, 30% growth, yes, you can just focus on the number goals. But if you want a quantum jump, you need to set goals in all these 5 areas. You need to have clearly defined spiritual goals, clearly defined health goals, because health is wealth. If you're not healthy, you won't be able to do anything. Clearly defined goals for your passions that you want to follow and fulfill. Clearly defined relationship goals and business goals, the career goals and your wealth goals. And the priority of your goals should be in the same order. So first you need to feed your soul. So whatever process, meditation, whatever process that you believe in, there has to be some element of your day focused on feeding your soul. Because when you feed your soul, it gives you the energy to then feed your body. It gives you the drive to feed your body. And then when you fuel your passions and your relationships, then creating wealth becomes a part of the whole thing. So if you want a quantum jump, the first step is you got to set goals in these 5 different areas. Okay. And a way that I approach this is I look at what is the one thing I can do to improve my spiritual life? What is the one thing I can do to improve my health? What is the one thing I can do to improve my relationships? What's the one thing I can do to improve to fuel my passions? And what is the one thing I can do to improve my business? When you think in terms of the one thing, there's also a book on this. When you think in terms of the one thing, that gives you much better power to focus on what really matters, and you just work on that one thing. There could be subcategories under that, but the one thing can really help you move forward. That's the first thought model. Okay, and if you've made note of this, just type noted in the comment box. Okay, the second thought model for growth, for quantum growth, is long-term thinking. Again, it seems like a very obvious concept, but let's go deeper into it and understand what is long-term thinking. Okay, see, most people in today's day and age, they make a lot of decisions which are based around instant gratification. There was a Stanford research that was done many years back talking about a test that was done on young kids, like toddlers. It is called the marshmallow test. Go and do a research on this later on. And the test worked like this. They would ask a child to sit inside a room for 10 minutes. They would keep a marshmallow in front of this child. And they would tell the child, if you don't eat this marshmallow for 10 minutes, when we come back, we'll give you 2 marshmallows. And they would keep this, they would do this. This is a 20-year-old test, 20-long-year-old test that was done on kids. And then they actually checked these children after 20 plus years. And they found out that the kids who were able to resist their temptation during those 10 minutes ended up becoming even more successful down the line. Okay, down the years, okay, 20 plus years plus. So these were some of the patterns that were it was a long test, patterns that were noted at a young age, and the end outcome of this entire test was this: delayed gratification can help people achieve much bigger success. And that's where long-term thinking comes into play. The kids that were able to resist their temptation for 10 minutes, they were able to have that long-term thinking at that age, and they were able to, go through it. And that's where they became successful many years back. And now when it comes to long-term thinking, let's look at all the different areas where long-term thinking is applicable. Number 1, relationships. Are you someone who's just looking for a one-night stand, or are you really committed to your partner in the long term? Think about this. Now, what does this have to do with success in business? It has everything to do with this. Okay, if you want quantum jump, you have to have the long-term thinking. Long-term thinking in your food, fast food versus putting healthy food in your body, even if it may seem like not very palatable to eat. Okay, exercise. It's painful, right, to go through the whole process of exercise. Spiritual practices. Are you getting into spirituality just for short-term gains and just doing it for like a business, or are you looking at this more as a long-term thinking activity? Are you investing your money in places where it's short-term gain or long-term gain? Now cryptocurrency, all this stuff is like the hot thing, right? Think about it, short-term versus long-term. Is your learning short-term or long-term? Are you parenting? If you're a parent and if you have kids, are you really being a good example for them or not? So you got to think in those lines. And finally, when it comes to reading and learning, how are you approaching this game? Are you reading stuff that's only short term, or are you reading information that's going to help you in the long term? So the second thought model is long term thinking. The first one was what? Clearly defined goals. So if you're somebody who's going to be sitting after this particular video and making a list of the things that can help you long term, just type long term thinking in the comment box. Okay, now let's come to the third thought model. So this is what I learned from one of my other mentors. His name is Sam Owens, who does over $1 million a month, $1 to $3 million a month, and he talks about projecting victors and options. Okay, what can you win? See, in any business, you need to project your business, like you have business projections into the future, and you need to project victors, things that can win, and in case it does not win, in case you're not able to succeed in that aspect of your business, look at what other options you can take. So this is more of this concept is more of a thinking exercise which you need to do. Okay, and when it comes to projecting victors, there are different areas which you can look at. And I'm going to give you a list of areas that I noted when I was doing this research. Okay, first is what can you do to influence more people and to grow your tribe? Okay, the size of your tribe. Second is project victors in terms of what can you do to nurture your community in a better way. What can you do to include social initiatives inside your community building process? What can you do to have more collaborative events with other members within your community or other influencers in your space? What can you do to have transformative masterminds? What can you do to uplift collective consciousness of society? What can you do to transform yourself in your personal life? What can you do to contribute to the nation's economy? What can you do to influence the environment in a positive way? So these are all projecting. You have to project these vectors and options inside your planning process. And if you ask me, this is what I would recommend. If you're able to allocate one day in a week, 2 hours, a 2-hour chunk once in a week to just planning your future, that will make a huge difference in your business. Even big companies like Amazon, they spend a large portion of their time planning on what is to come besides what is to be done. I'll repeat that. Big companies like Amazon spend a big portion of their time on what is yet to come besides what is to be done. And if you are able to project these kind of vectors in all these different areas, especially in a digital coaching business, on influence, on community building, on social initiatives, I'll tell you what I've been doing. Like in my case, for influencing more people, I've projected that I need to record and upload videos like this on a continual basis, and I have a very specific number I've listed there. To nurture the community, I have different gamification initiatives, and I put that down in a very specific way. Social initiatives. Our community right now is giving between 20 to 30 lakh rupees per month in terms of charity as a community. Okay, and till now, at this point, we have given close to 2 crores in the last few months as a community towards social initiatives. Okay. Number 3 is collaborative events. I do events with other masters and other influencers in this community. With the same influencers, we have weekly masterminds where we come together, only 9 of us come together and we discuss different ideas. To uplift collective consciousness, I constantly keep seeding and I keep telling members of my community to help their communities work on their mindset. So while I'm helping my communities work on their mindset, I'm asking the people inside my community to work with their communities with the same thought model. So that's going to uplift the collective consciousness in the world. Transformation personal life. I tell people in my community to, and I do it myself as well, to minimize distractions and to maximize, efficiency. And if all of us are able to do this, we can really contribute to the nation's economy. It's a byproduct. Contributing to the nation's economy is a byproduct of implementing all of these and projecting all of these, models here and influencing the environment in a positive way. So for me, the way that I look at business is a very holistic view. It is not, and holistic is a word that everybody likes to use, but very practically, I'm able to implement this as I'm building my community by making them understand these things. And if you're part of my community, if you're brand new in the community, and if you're watching this video, what I'm doing right now is I'm injecting these values, I'm injecting these concepts so that you're able to fall in alignment with this vision that I have set. Okay, and that's why I need to grow. And by you just projecting vectors and options, spending that one day in a week for 2 hours in a week, thinking about what's to come besides what's to be done, you can massively make a difference. That quantum jump that I'm talking about, you can experience that in the next 12 months. Okay, let's come to the fourth concept here. The fourth concept. Again, this is a concept I learned from Sam Owens. He talks about dividends versus decay. Every decision that you make in your life and in your business is either going to give you dividends or it's going to decay. Decay is it's like entropy. Like even by you not doing anything, it's going to decay on its own. Okay, just like you buy food and if you don't eat that food, it gets decayed. Okay, but dividends is something where you can actually multiply the results based on whatever you have in your hand. So let's look at this on a more deeper level. For example, television. Okay, now television, it is a decision that you are making which can actually cause decay in the long run. If you're somebody who's not watchful of your time and who's just getting absorbed in all the stuff that happens on TV, the news and all the gossip and everything else that happens. Now, there are some people who use TV in a much more productive way. They can actually get more dividends from having a television at their home by focusing their energy. Let's say you're somebody who has a TV, and rather than watching cable television and Netflix for hours together, imagine you're going to use that same TV to watch more TED videos, to watch more videos like this on YouTube, on your television, on a big screen, and learn more information. That's going to help you turn that same tool into a tool that gives you dividends versus decay. Okay. Same thing when it comes to self-education. Okay. choosing the topics that are really going to help you get more dividends. See, when it comes to education and learning, there are so many things that one can learn. But if you're able to identify what you really want, when your goals are very clear, and then when you're able to focus all your energies into learning things that are going to give you more dividends, that's going to help you grow much faster. Friendships. There are some people who, see, when it comes to friendships, choosing people matters a lot, okay? There are some people who can pull your energy down, and they could also be some of your closest friends. And who you associate with also matters the most. So if you're able to associate yourself with friends who are actually able to uplift you and who are on a higher plane of understanding, okay? Now, you're not here to judge anyone here, but again, this matters a lot because you are the average of the 5 people that you associate with. And if you can consciously dissociate yourself with people who are pulling your energy down and who are playing on a lower or a smaller game in life, that will help you turn the decay into dividends. The same applies even with investing of money, investing your time, investing your energy in areas that are causing decay or dividends. Again, this is a very conscious thing which you'll need to look at on a day-to-day basis. And also choosing the right mentors. Okay, for me, this was a very, very big point because previously I used to learn from anybody and everybody, any mentor who showcased that they had results. But then later on, I started to choose my mentors not just based on the results, but also based on their value system, based on their philosophy of life and business. Okay, for example, my mentor Vic is a very family-oriented person, spiritually oriented person, and who has a long-term thinking in terms of business. So once I chose my mentor, I was able to clearly differentiate between him and other mentors. In fact, I didn't pick up any other mentors. I only have like 3 mentors. Like if I have to mention right now, Sam Owens, Vic Strizes, and Blair Singer. Okay, these are like the 3 people who have influenced me the most and who I follow to the T from a philosophical level of business. It's not just about results and and how much money they're making and stuff like that. Okay, so a mentor, when you're choosing a mentor, it has to be based on this, because sometimes when you choose a mentor purely based on just how much money they're making, who may not have the right philosophy and long-term thinking in their business, that could cause decay in the long run. Okay. By the way, how many of you are finding this impactful? Just type impactful in the comment box, because this stuff is really, really impactful and it has impacted my business. It's not something that I have thought about on my own. It is something that I've learned from my mentors, and I'm crystallizing that for you in this video. Number 5, you got to look at second order consequences of every decision that you make. Okay. Now, what are second order consequences? Let's say you buy a television. It's a beautiful television, 42-inch television, latest technology, LED, QLED, you have so many different technologies, right? So the decision is a very small decision. But what are the second order consequences and the third order consequences? You buying that TV, first, you're going to be spending money for that. Okay. So let's say money is going out of your pocket. Now, not just money. Imagine you're going to get so absorbed in this piece of technology that you're going to be binge watching on Netflix on different TV shows. So a lot of your time is going to be lost. Okay. Yes, you may want to recreate yourself, recreation, you may want to spend some time, but imagine you're spending the whole day watching some TV shows. And that time could have been used for other productive activities for growing your business. So your business also goes down. Okay. Your creative energy goes down. And it's called an idiot box because you're not using your mind actually. You're watching something and it's just feeding your mind, and you're getting this hit of dopamine, and you're going to get absorbed in that show, and it creates a kind of addiction also, where you want to go back and see the next episode. So the second order consequences of buying a TV is like huge, and the same can be applied to every aspect of your life. And I want you to contemplate on this, like even social media. I want you to contemplate on social media addiction also, okay, under second order consequences. Imagine now, suppose you're addicted to social media. These are the things that you're going to be experiencing. Fear of missing out, FOMO, okay? Anxiety, waste of time, eye problems, jealousy, seeking attention, stress, fake presumptions, poor decision making, and it also affects your relationship. Let's say you're so addicted to social media that your entire family is sitting on the table, everybody's looking into their Facebook and Instagram feed, and they're not actually spending time with each other. Now, what is that all about? It affects relationships as well. So you need to look at all the second degree consequences of every decision that you make, and this can create a quantum jump in your life and your business. And this is what I learned again from my mentors. And consciously what I've done for this is I've deleted all social media apps from my phone. I've removed all notifications from my phone. And if I have to do anything online, I just do it on my laptop. Okay. And I only have like 4 applications on my phone. I have Safari where I have to browse for stuff. I have a Telegram because I have to communicate with my community. I've got my calendar to look at what all are the important stuff that I need to do for the day. And number 4 is what else? I forget what's the fourth point. Notes. I take a lot of notes. Okay. And of course I have my Audible. I listen to podcasts and things like that. Social media applications, Facebook, Instagram, I've deleted from my phone. I do have WhatsApp. I have to communicate with my family and stuff like that. But I've removed the notifications. I don't have notifications pinging all the time. Very powerful concept here. Number 6 is consider dependencies and sequencing in your business. For example, if you're somebody who has to create more videos, you are dependent on somebody else to probably edit your videos. And sequencing is more to do with how are you going to be sequencing that entire flow of activities. So for this, I've made a list of activities which are non-productive, productive, and super productive. Okay, and I would like you to look at this closely because this could make a huge difference in your knowledge business. So here are the list of non-productive activities: talking to friends, surfing the internet, reading emails, responding to WhatsApp pop-ups, answering your phone, checking website stats, organizing your desk, cleaning your office, refreshing your Facebook feeds on a continual basis is pure non-productive activities. Okay. Now let's look at productive activities. Creating information products, marketing your products, managing income projects, writing blogs, recording videos like what I'm doing right now, sharing blogs, managing finances, and learning daily are all my productive activities. And let's look at super productive activities. Working on your mindset on a daily basis, looking at your goals every single day, reading your affirmations on a daily basis, creating systems that can create products, speaking and selling through webinars, creating systems that can market your products better, building and training teams to create systems, building and training teams to create content, and building and training teams to market your content. All these are super productive activities. So when you're able to understand the dependencies on all these areas, and then when you're able to sequence your day and sequence all your actions based on what's non-productive, productive, and super productive, you can experience a quantum jump in your business. This is concept number 6. And if you found this super impactful, just type super impactful in the comment box. Okay. Let's come now to concept number 7, which is input and output symmetry. Okay. Input output symmetry. For me, the entire game of a knowledge business is purely based on how much of time, energy, and money am I putting into it, and what kind of result am I getting on the other side. Okay. Input versus output. In some cases, you may need to put more input initially to have a compounded effect of your output down the line. So right now, if you look at my business, for the time and energy I'm putting, like I only work like 1 to 2 hours in a day. Okay. And I have maybe top 3 tasks in a day. But the output that I'm able to generate in terms of revenues and income is phenomenal. It's like really high because I am applying the concept of Pareto's principle, the 80-20 rule. 80% of your effectiveness in your business is dependent on 20% of the activities and vice versa. And once you're able to identify that, like you look at my super productive activities and productive activities, I've actually planned my week and my day in such a way that my input output symmetry is really high. So let's first look at our human body itself. Input and output symmetry can happen even in this. What food that you put into your body will also determine the output that your body can generate in terms of energy, because you only have limited energy. Okay, so eating the right food has a direct impact on your business. Sleeping well has a direct impact on your business. Managing your time in the most effective way and saying no to all those 100 things which are taking out your energy is also going to be having an impact on your business. Why do you think I wear just white and black shirts like this? Because I don't want to think about and make decisions on what clothes I need to wear, what food I need to eat on a daily basis. All of that is automated and is systemized. Okay, so this also has to do with input and output symmetry. And another thing with business, even in your advertising, let's say you're running ads and you're putting money into your business, even there you need to look at input-output symmetry. I have like a 4 to 5x ROI just in my level 1 program. And if I look at my overall ROI in terms of my level 2, level 3 programs that I have in my community, I have anywhere from 7 to 8x return on investment of money put into it. Okay, if I put in 1 rupee in, I'm able to take 8 rupees out of my business because of the input-output symmetry. And input-output symmetry is a concept which very few business owners go deep into. And if you're able to plan this from a physical level, from a mental, emotional level, from business planning level, that 80-20 rule, Pareto's principle, trust me, you're going to experience a quantum jump in your business in the next 12 months. Okay, let's come to the next part over here. Concept number 8 is risk of ease and undo. Now, this is a concept which I learned from my mentor Sam Owens, where he says that whatever decision that you make in your business, in your knowledge business, is it possible for you to minimize risk, and is it easy to undo? Okay, the risk and ease of undoing activity. So for example, I may make a decision in my knowledge business. Okay, I'm going to be running maybe a hackathon. Okay, so initially the hackathon was for 1 month. Then I was looking at the patterns and I noticed that not many people are finishing the hackathon, and the quality of the people, quality of the courses that are being created by the people are not as it's not at the desired level that I had. So I set the standard as world class, and I undid that decision and I made it into a 2-month hackathon. Okay, so the risk and ease of undo was very flexible. So if you're somebody who's very, very rigid in your thinking, right? Like you may have a beautiful system in place, but when you are thinking that, okay, this is the only way it has to be done, there's no other better way to do things, that actually is a stumbling block in your business. You need to be flexible and you need to move like water by looking at the data points in your business. And that is what I mean by the risk and ease of undoing. Okay, you need to remove risk as quickly as possible, and you need to be quick at making decisions and undoing things that you've already done, which you know through data, it's not moving in the right direction. Okay. Now let's come to the last thought model, which is counteract troughs with inverse curves. Okay. This is a little bit of a deep concept. I'll just go deeper into this. Hold on. Now, every business goes through ups and downs. Okay. So if you actually go and study, if you've done physics and stuff, you know that every wave has a crest, which is the peak on the top, and then it has a trough. Trough is the bottommost part. It's like a pit. Okay, so there's a peak and there's a pit. And if you look at a business, you're going to be experiencing the same thing. Like even in my business, there are months that has gone up, and there are months that it has come down. And this concept, which is what I've just shared here, you have to counteract. Let's come to the mind map. You have to counteract the troughs with inverse curves, with peaks. So how do you really do that? So every 3 to 6 months in my knowledge business, I run different kinds of promotions. I either increase the price of my products, or I run some launches and some promotions which are valid only for a short span of time to help people make a decision much faster. And every time I do a launch, I actually hit a peak in my business. And then it goes back to a trough, and I again hit the peak. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm strategically planning, I'm making decisions and I'm planning initiatives in my community where I can counteract the troughs with inverse curves whenever it is moving down. Because in life and in business, even in your heartbeat, it's always up and down. Okay, it's not a straight line. It's not a straight line moving up. That's how business is. Okay, as long as the overall curve is moving up, it's like it's moving like this and moving up. Overall curves moving up, that's very important. It should not be going down like this. Okay, so that's what I look for in my business. So just to recap, the 9 thought models or the 9 concepts for quantum growth are these. Number 1 is you need to have clearly defined goals. 2 is you need to make decisions which are keeping long-term thinking. You need to allocate 1 day in a week just to project victors and options in your business. Okay, you need to understand if the decisions that you're making are actually giving you more dividends or decay. Number 5 is, are you really monitoring the second and third order consequences of every decision that you make? Number 6, are you considering dependencies and sequencing based on the non-productive, super productive and productive activities in your business? Are you constantly monitoring the input and output symmetry in your own body, in your own energy levels, and in your own business? Number 8, are you monitoring or do you have a position in your business where you have the risk and ease of undoing the actions that you're making, or are you stuck and you're tied into that world? Flexibility. Do you have flexibility or not? And number 9 is, do you have any initiatives where you can counteract the troughs with inverse curves? So these are the 9 concepts for a quantum growth in your digital coaching business. And your logical next step is, before I get into the logical next step, I want all of you to type in the comment box, did you find this information useful? Was this really impactful? Out of these 9 concepts over here, which is the one concept that you're going to be taking action on immediately? Please share that in the comment box. Okay, I want to actually read your comments. And if you're somebody who's taken a lot of notes, please share the notes below, especially if you're in my community. Use hashtag ILHFamily so that I'm able to track that and give you some gifts as well when we meet in our weekly inner circle mastermind. And by the way, if you're watching here and if you're not a part of my community, and if you want to be a part of this revolution that we are creating in this world, here is your logical next step. Okay, your logical next step is to go to sids.co/join. Okay, I'm just going to zoom in, sids.co/join. You'll come to a page where you can learn more about the different membership levels that we have in our community, and you can get started. I have a special discount offer that's valid only for a short span of time, and you can join the fastest growing community dedicated to knowledge givers. Okay, so you'll come to a page which looks like this. Join the #1 fastest growing community for coaches. Give your name, your phone number. There's a coupon code that keeps changing. Okay, go and watch all the success interviews of my students and get to know more about this. Okay, so I have a special discount offer for those of you who are watching this. If you're not a part of my community, go and apply that code. Watch that video first on that page, and then make the decision and jump in. Okay, what you're experiencing in this video is just a scratch. I'm just scratching the surface of the kind of information that you're going to get inside my community, which is called the Internet Lifestyle Hub. So I look forward to seeing you inside. I look forward to supporting you more. And I want to personally wish you all the best to achieving that quantum jump, quantum growth in your business in the next 12 months. All the best.